Computer. So, good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Aspen Buckingham. Aspen is a member of CAMTA. He is the CEO of Overture Games, co-founder of Intervallic, and a graduate of the Bean School of Music at Northwestern University, with majors in music and computer science and concentrations in composition and game development. He's currently running a program teaching underserved students at the Chicago Youth Centers in South and West Chicago. And today he will talk about setting your studio apart, new tools and technologies. He said most likely he will talk about unique cutting edge music technology, about lesson scheduling software, about games for group classes, helpful online tools, composing and arranging software. And he is open to any questions, so please put it in the chat or ask him. Thank you, Aspen, for being here. Let's give him a warm welcome, and you can take it over here.
Great, thanks, Yumi. So I'm super excited to share a lot of these new technologies with you all. And just to build on what Yumi was saying, today our core goals are just to learn what tech is out there and do some basic demos of each of those technologies. My background, as she said, I'm a composer, I'm a teacher, I'm a developer, and I am a big music tech nerd. It's what I love. I love combining my two passions of computer science and music. When I was in university, I was building projects and doing research on things like AI generated music, sonifying artificial intelligence, adaptive composition, and composing for interactivity, so music games. Um, so super excited to dive in with y'all, and I'd like to make sure this is useful for you. So, I'm going to ask questions during the presentation about what sort of tech you currently use, so I can speak to your experience as well. So just to jump in, we're going to do four main categories here. The first one is sheet music and audio tools that are online, and talk about a few cool new tools out there. Then engraving technologies. So those are things like Finale and Sibelius. We're going to talk about AI generation and how we can use that in our studios. And then scheduling software. So things like Calendly, Google Calendar, My Music Staff. Feel free to throw any questions you have into the chat. I'll keep an eye out for that. So to start out, talk a little bit about sheet music and audio tools that are out there. The first one I want to talk about, and you might not know this, but MuseScore has this awesome feature where you can take pictures of sheet music and it will generate the score for you in like a computer version that you can print out and use. I think this is awesome. If you have any old scores out there, it's pretty good. You do have to do some editing to make sure it all looks right. But then you can go from picture all the way to a full score that you can listen to online. You can export any music audio files or MIDI files. You can change the instrument that it sounds like. It's pretty cool stuff. So real quick, I'm going to show you how you can do this in MuseScore because a lot of people don't know how to do it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you go to, and I'm curious, does anyone here use MuseScore or has used MuseScore? Just curious, take a quick poll.
Elaine
Okay, cool,
has her hand
sweet.
up, and I know that Yarrow and Junichi are using it too.
Yeah,
I
it looks
have.
like there's a bunch of people who have. That's awesome. Yeah, feel free to speak up when I ask questions too. So in MuseScore, if can everyone see my screen with MuseScore Studio up? Okay, sweet. So here, if you go to File and you go to Import PDF, that's all it takes. So you go to File, Import PDF. It will take you to this online musescore.com/import. You go to select PDF. You're going to want to make sure your picture that you took is a PDF. And then you can import your PDF, give it a title, give it an ensemble type, subtitle, description, and then you can save it. When you save it, it'll send you an email with the new MuseScore file, and you can open that MuseScore file from the email. So I'll skip that step right now, but once you get the MuseScore file, you can open it up, and it'll look something like this. And this is straight from that image. So it used AI to read the picture that you took, figure out what all the notes were, and put it in your computer for you. Pretty cool. This is what it looks like. It thought that there were some voices in there for some reason, so you'd have to eliminate the extra instruments and do a few edits here to make sure all the notes are right. Look back through it. But it saves me a lot of time when I'm trying to transcribe anything. So pretty cool tech. It's right in MuseScore, easiest way to use it. Now, the MuseScore version is great, but an even better version is this other software. It's called sheetmusicscanner.com. It's not integrated directly into MuseScore, which is what a lot of people use, but you can download this as an app, or you can use the online version. And this one I've found works even better. And the cool thing is once you export it, or once you take a picture, as soon as you take a picture, you can like do playthrough and listen to the score. So if you have a student who writes something in sheet music, you can take a picture and listen to it automatically. If you
Wow.
have an old score, you can take a picture, you can listen to it on your phone, even on your phone. Those files can then be exported and put into MuseScore as well as MIDI files. Happy to do follow-ups. We have a lot of content to get through. But if you have more questions, we'll do questions at the end. And I'm happy to talk more in depth with people if you need. This next one is really cool. This is a stem splitter. So if you've ever listened to an ensemble and you wanted to pick out a specific instrument and listen to it again, this one's called Voice AI. And Voice AI will take out any instrument so that you can listen to it individually. So say you have an ensemble where your student is performing an accompaniment with a whole host of instruments. You can take an audio recording of that, upload it to this, and I'll show you it, and I'll actually share the audio so you can listen to the stem splitting happen, and you can listen to each instrument individually. It pulls them all out for you. The
Wow.
cool thing about that is you can use it in all sorts of writing music. You can pull it out and modify them and things. You can listen to them individually. There's no short of ways you can be creative with stem splitters. This is an awesome use of AI to identify and allow us to be more creative. So I'm going to show you how the process works for doing stem splitting. And feel free, if you have any questions, to drop those in the chat. So first up, we're going to want to find a song. So we could use something like Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. I can grab this song, grab the link, copy it. I like to use like YouTube to MP3 converters. They're online, easy to look up. For future context, if no one's used an MP3 converter before, you can take any YouTube video that exists and you can turn it into an audio file that you can use. So for anyone who doesn't know that, there are MP3 converters online. They work great. They're safe. You got to be careful with copyright, how you use it. But as long as you're not sharing it around and abusing, the MP3 converter thing, it's usually fine. So you can put in your song into the MP3 converter. I'll show you what that looks like. You post it in. You can click convert, and then it'll be right there for download for you. Once you've downloaded your MP3, You can throw that MP3. So I can download that here um, into Voice AI. Voice AI is what it's called. And I'm going to make sure I'm sharing audio here so that y'all can. All of these are free, by the way. The majority of these products are free. So they might monetize them in the future and they might have free trials, but you can at least try them for free. Um, okay, cool. So let me share and make sure I'm sharing audio as well. Okay. So I took Earth, Wind, and Fire here, and you can pull out. Here's just the voice part. Here's the whole thing. Okay, everyone knows September. Okay, and here's the bass. Okay, here's the voice. Here's the drums. Okay, you can even do things like upload it to the site to find the key and BPM at any point in the song. You can do vocal remover. You can take out the voice and just have the instruments. There's a lot of creative things you can do with sites like these that do stem splitting to remove instruments, add instruments, modify different sounds and instruments that are in there. Really cool technology, and it's free and it's online. All you have to do is upload MP3s. So highly recommended. Um, cool. So that brings us into our next section, which is engraving. So I know a lot of people have used MuseScore, Finale, Sibelius. The newest and best technology out there is Dorico. It's quite good. It's sophisticated, it's professional, and the workflow is awesome. Has integrated playback that is equivalent to an audio workspace like Logic. If you've heard of Logic or GarageBand, it's got really great instrument sounds. It sounds great. If you want to export MP3 files, you can. You can even download more sound sets so that you can get exactly the sound that you want directly from the sheet music playback. The cons of switching is there is a learning curve. It's not too bad if you've used other technologies like this. And there is a cost, $580 to buy it outright. They have a subscription cost, and they also have a free version. They have a free trial. So they have a free 60-day trial if you want to check it out. Highly recommend it. It's got great reviews, and the people who made Finale closed down Finale to make this. They closed down Finale to make this software. So this is experts who are making this. This is the newest and best. Highly recommend it. Cool. If y'all aren't using iPads yet in your classroom, iPads are fantastic. You can put the sheet music up there. You don't have to have a bunch of books all around. You just have the iPads. You can open up the files for your students. And one thing that I like to do is write down on the iPad itself any notes that I have for the students. You can zoom in. You can write down your notes with a stylus, and then you can export that and send it to the parents over email. So the parents then get all the notes from the lesson for the kids to look at. Highly recommend iPads. I know a lot of teachers are integrating those these days. If you haven't yet, there's lots of great tools and software for music and for teaching music on the iPads. And that brings us to AI generation. So everyone's heard about AI, and there's a lot of really cool tools out there that we can use when we're teaching um, that span from image generation to video generation um, to even music generation. It's fascinating stuff. Um, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like the pinnacle of what we got right now. It is the best. And the trick is there's a lot of things it can do that people don't know it can do. They might use it, they might have it, but they might not know it can do these things. So I'm going to share some of the tips and tricks of ChatGPT that you can use that are really awesome, make us all more productive. You don't have to be just a music teacher to use these, but I think and everyone should know because this is like the future of work in a lot of ways. So I'm going to go over five main things it can do. Number one is voice. Number two is images and video. Number three is writing. Number four is vision. And number five is search and design. So I'm going to start off with voice. I love this one. If you download the app, the ChatGPT app on your phone, you can talk to it. All you have to do is click the little voice icon, um, and you can talk to it as if it's a person, and it will give you ideas. It'll research things for you. I like to do this when I'm practicing presentations. I like to use it and I'm thinking through ideas. It's much more, I don't know, if I'm like alone on a walk or I'm in the subway, I don't have someone to talk to about something. I'm like, yo, like, what do you think about this idea? And it actually like helps me think through ideas and it can like do research on the web while you're talking to it. It's great stuff. It's the future. Um, Highly recommend using the voice feature on the mobile version. Next one is images and video. So images and video are like immediately generated on ChatGPT when you ask for an image. Video is new. That'll come in about 3 months. They have it for people who have signed up for it. But anyone who has ChatGPT can generate images. For context, too, ChatGPT has a free version, and the full version is $20 a month. They're gonna come out with an even better version that's like $200 a month. But I would suggest, highly recommend getting the $20 a month version. Super helpful for a lot of reasons. So image and video, this is cool. We can use this in a lot of ways. I'll talk a little bit about how we can use it. Um, so one thought for images and videos, great for marketing. Great for any sort of media that you need to make. If you need to make images for, say, a flyer, right? Really quick generation. Canva does this too. There's a few others that I'll share as well, other sites that also can do image generation. But I'll show you real quick. So if you go to ChatGPT here, there's a few different models it has. So GPT 4.0 is the one that does pretty much everything you need. If you want to talk to one that's really good at reasoning and is more like a person, O1 is the one to use. But 4.0 is like really smart and can do what you need. So if I say, could I get in the chat something to type in for an image? Could be anything. And I'll grab that and throw it into our image generator here.
Flying pigs.
Flying pigs. Okay, flying pigs. Anything else with the flying pigs?
Playing piano.
Flying pigs playing piano. Okay, sweet. So here we go. Picture of flying pigs playing piano. Cool. So now it's going to do a picture of flying pigs playing piano. It's pretty quick. And then you can copy paste this image and you can use it anywhere you want. Here are some flying pigs playing piano. So the cool thing is now you can go in and you can even modify this to say, okay, over here, I want not a flying pig playing a piano, but I don't know, what should we put over here?
A kid playing the piano.
A kid playing the piano. Okay. So now it's going to edit this picture that we already have, and it's going to add a kid playing the piano to the picture. And it's going to edit it where I drew over here. Okay, sometimes it doesn't get it right. And you got to keep generating things. So say we try this again. Um, do a kid playing the piano. Make sure it is not a pig. So sometimes you gotta work with the AI and you gotta treat it like it's a person, which is kind of
How
wild.
about how about the word child instead of it's pig sort of sounds like kid, maybe to
Yeah,
me.
actually, yeah. Sometimes using different words helps too. Um, so we'll see if it does it this time. Okay, it did a bookcase. Okay, so it's not perfect, but what I will say is it's great for generating images that you can use. Um, there's a lot of different tech out there that does this, not just ChatGPT. The thing about GPT is it has it all in one place. It has it all just in this one chat window, which is great. So you can use it for marketing. You can use it for writing emails. It's very, very good at writing emails. Um, you can even copy paste images into ChatGPT and it will tell you what those images are. So let's do an example here. Yesterday, I was at my co-founder Steven's apartment. He's Chinese. He has a bunch of Chinese books, and I was curious what those books said. What are these books about? So I took a picture. I said, "Can you use Chinese to tell me the title of each book?" And it read all of the titles of these books, and it found the titles of the books and wrote them in Chinese. I was like, I don't know Chinese. So I said, can you translate to English and give me a small blurb about each book? So what it had to do is it read the text from the picture that I sent. It figured out what the books were called. Then it looked up the books on the internet and it found a blurb about each book and told me, hey, this is what this book's about. This is what this book's about. This is what this book is about. And now I have a list of all of Stephen's books translated from Chinese just from a picture and what they're all about. You can do this with any language at this point, pretty much. You can do this with any pictures you're taking, and it will tell you and look things up on the internet. You can take a picture of like anything and upload it and say, what is this? And it'll tell you what it is. Not only will it tell you what it is, but it can read language as well. Super useful if there are things in different languages. Super useful if you need to know what something is. If you want to look something up on the internet, you can take a picture of what it is, and you can say, "Hey, can you find this on the internet for me?" And it will find it on the internet for you. Um, I think this is just super cool and useful all around, um, and can be used for a lot of different things. Language is just one of those. The next one and final one is, like I said, you can use it for building and researching. So now it has a search function in GPT. Now, to use the search function in GPT, I think it's incredibly useful because you can talk directly to this AI and it can find things on the internet for you. So specifically, the search function is this thing right here at the bottom of the chat. You can click search the web. If you want to upload an image, you go to attach files. And if you want to see what other tools are up here, you can specifically use like the picture tool, for example. And it's all in this one bar. So very simple. All you have to do is talk to it. And if you don't know how to use it, you can ask it how to use it. You can say, how do I use the search function in Chat GPT? And you can use it. In fact, when I was researching for this presentation, I used GPT to research various different technologies to share during this presentation. So highly recommend using and learning GPT, or at least knowing that it exists. It's really cool, and it can do a lot for various different aspects of your life. Okay, I want to see if there's anything in the chat real quick. Yeah, it's super fun and helpful. It's awesome. You can use it for resumes, cover letters. Like, it will write pretty much anything, and it's really good at it. One piece of advice I have is if you have a specific style or thing you'd like it to write, it does really well if you paste a PDF or an example version in there and say, I want something like this example. It does better when you give it an example, like a person, right? If you were to tell a person to do something, you'd say, hey, this is kind of what I want it to look like, right? So sometimes, like I said, you got to treat it a little bit like a person, and it will do better if you do. So highly recommend. And so now I'm going to go switch gears to sharing a few other cool AI generation tools that you can use beyond ChatGPT. The first one is a bit controversial. So this one is called Suno. Suno. The other one's called Udio. These are systems that were trained on copyrighted music to generate new music. It's a fun tool to play around with, though, like I said, certainly controversial because they are stealing copyrighted music to do this. But I want to give you an example. You should know this exists and what it does of how it works. So, oops, that's not the one. This one. Okay. So this is Suno. I took that song from earlier, Pa Le Fater. That's the one that I took a picture of, and I imported the MIDI into MuseScore, right? I imported the computer readable file of the picture into my sheet music engraver. I took that, I got an audio file from it, and I uploaded the audio file to Suno. One of my buddies, this is his great grandfather who wrote this song. He said, hey, can you do some generation to make a different version of this? And so I did. I threw it into Suno, and Suno created a new version of Pa Le Fater. So this is what the song sounds like. Okay, so that's the main theme, right? I uploaded the audio. That's all I did, the MP3 file. And it came up with things like this. So this is an extension of the music. This is all computer generated. No person was involved in this other than uploading the audio. Okay, so it can extend your song and create its own version beyond it, which is really fascinating. And it's pretty good. This is all AI. There's no person involved, just the MP3 that I uploaded. Um, this is another version. Okay, so that is another version of Polyfater, but this time it is kind of little rock, psychedelic, mid-tempo. This is the prompt I put in. Um, then I was like, okay, what if we put lyrics to it? What if we wanted to make a psychedelic rock song with Polyfater as the inspiration? The way you do that is you click create, you enter in your own lyrics. So I generated lyrics using ChatGPT. I entered them in. I said what the style of the music was, and then I created this, which is so this one here is a psychedelic version of Polyfater. It took inspiration from the song. Yeah, so you can tell it took a little bit of inspiration from the, original piano MP3 file that I uploaded. Um, it's fascinating what it can do. We should all know about it, try to understand it, and everyone has their own opinion on these things. But I thought I'd share with y'all what's out there, so at least you know. I think it's kind of fun to mess around with. Um, but in terms of the ethics of it, it's certainly controversial. So next tech that we're going to look at, this one is Runway. So Runway is really cool. This is awesome if you want to make a music video for your students, or if you want to, just have some fun creating like a fun little video of you talking for one of your students or something. If you want to send out a little video to parents, for example. I took a video of myself talking here. So this is me just talking to y'all.
Hi everyone, this is a video of me. Oh my gosh, I am a character now. Whoa.
Okay, so that's me before. Then I uploaded the video to Runway. So this is Runway. You can upload any video you want. I uploaded this video of myself. It has to be under a certain amount, and the free version only has a certain amount of credits. But here's me as a Pixar character in the same video.
Hi everyone, this is a video of me. Oh my gosh,
Oh my
I am a
God.
character now. Whoa. Hi everyone, this is a video of me.
So you could make yourself look like, I don't know, a dog. You could do pretty much anything you want. But you can also animate images that exist too. So if you have like a fun newsletter or something, um, you could animate an image. So I took this image that I generated in Dolly. So in ChatGPT, I generated an image of purple musician chibi characters. And then I said, took the image, I dropped it into this image box, and I said, hey, can you animate them like they're playing music? And now it looks like this. It looks like they're playing music and bouncing to the beat. Pretty cool stuff. And I just think you can get creative with it, how you want to use it. Great for social media. You want to use it for social media. Um, there are other video generators out there. Runway is the best one right now. Cool. Other image generation softwares, if you own Adobe, Adobe products can do image generation. I won't show you right now, just in the interest of time, but Midjourney is another one worth looking up. And then I just want to highlight where tech is going next. So I'm looking at some research papers. I like to read those. And there's some new software out there that's doing accompaniment generation, which is really cool. It's experimental at the moment, but my guess is it will likely be useful soon. Accompaniment generation is, imagine you're playing at a piano, and in real time, the computer is listening to you play and accompanying you, and figuring out what to play to accompany you. You could play anything, you could improvise, but it listens to what you're playing, and it's like a real performer improvising with you. I think that's fascinating, and could be used in the classroom, for example, if you have a band, a bunch of band students could use it there, or in various other ways. So the tech is continuing to march forward. There's some cool stuff coming. Things like accompaniment generation will probably be here soon. Final thing I want to highlight, just to make sure I do some helpful stuff too, in case these are beyond what you want to use right now. Just want to highlight some of the tech that's really great for scheduling, because I know scheduling is super important for us, and one of our biggest problems as music teachers. So my music staff is fantastic. I know Brenda said she uses my music staff. I highly recommend looking into it. It might be the right solution for you. If you want something a little less, like you have to pay for it, like a little less of a commitment, you can go for like a Calendly. Calendly is free. I'll show you real quick what Calendly looks like. It integrates with payments. So if you want people to do payments through it, they can do payments through Calendly as well. But what you do is you set up events, like a 30-minute meeting or a 30-minute teaching session. And then people can then sign up for your events in your calendar. It'll hook in with like your Google Calendar, for example. And it's pretty good for scheduling. An even lower commitment version would be like just Google Calendar itself. And I want to highlight a couple things in Google Calendar that are super, super great. They're new features that you might not know about. In Google Calendar, you can now make an appointment schedule. Now, an appointment schedule is pretty much what you would need as a teacher. You can say when you're available during the week. If you have any like booked sessions throughout the week, it won't allow people to book new sessions during that time. So say I'm available on these days for these times, repeat it weekly, then go to next. And you have all these different ways you can specify how you want it. You can add a description. You can save that. It'll show up as a booking page. And then if your students or parents want to book lessons, they can grab a certain time slot. They can put their name and their email address, and they can book that time slot. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely like a lower commitment than Calendly or my music stuff, but it does integrate directly into Google Calendar because it is Google Calendar, and a lot of people use that, especially parents and cool. So that's what I got for you today. I know we went through a lot, so if you have any questions about specific tech, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Um, and I can go back to the slides and answer those. But yeah, I hope some of that was helpful or at least eye-opening, and always happy to share more about new tech
Amazing.
that's out there if you have any questions. So thank you all. This has been wonderful.
Wow.
Elaine, go ahead. Your hand is up.
Well, I had a question. Would it be possible to arrange a workshop if our members were interested at, let's say, Northwestern, since you just graduated from there, with you leading it, with helping us go through some of these things that are more complicated and each person on their own computer learning how to do these things? I mean,
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm happy to run a workshop like that next year. I think that'd be a wonderful way to get some hands-on experience beyond the just like seeing it done, because you can't really understand it until you try it yourself.
right. That would be something to consider. Of course, people would have to pay something, but if you could set that up, we did that years ago when we were getting the first Apple IIe's, way back in the olden days. But now we're in the new days, and it would be wonderful to learn how to really do these things. All right, something to
Yeah.
consider. Thank you. It was very interesting.
Okay,
Yes, of course.
Aspen. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, that would be great. As far as a workshop, like let X equal one and then go on from there. Okay, I just think that it was so classic that you could take those pictures and then turn them into kind of like comic characters. I have a group of 4 students who think they're so cool, and I would really like to come back with something one notch cooler. How can I take a picture and then to have it distorted like that?
Okay, so um, let me make sure I've got your question right. So you're asking how can
It's the
I,
flying, it was around the flying pigs, remember? And then we
right.
had, so what would I do besides
Yes,
going to
so to create
ChatGPT?
to create a picture like that, first you want to log into ChatGPT, um,
Okay,
and you have to create an account for that. So that will use an email
okay,
and a password. And then once you've
okay,
got your account made, um, you can either use the desktop version on your computer, just online, anywhere online. It will work and you log in. Or you
okay.
can use an iPhone version or an Android version, and you can download the app and log in there. Once you're in, you'll go to the chat bar, and it's the first thing that'll show up. And all you have to do is ask it, make an image for me of this, and it'll do it.
Wow.
Do you have
Hmm.
to sign up twice if you want it on your desktop and on your phone?
No, actually, what's really cool is I can do things on my phone right now, and it'll immediately pop up on my online version as I'm using the online version. So it'll go back and forth super easily. All you have to do is log into the same account.
Wow.
And you said
It's so,
GPT is $20 a month.
GPT is $20 a month. And there is, I believe there's a free trial if you want to try it out. It might not have the image generation and it might not have all the features, but one thing you can do is invest $20 to try it out for a month, see if you like it. And if it's not for you, like cancel the subscription. But it's really fun to play around with. and it's very useful, very useful.
But editing is free, right? Because I used it all the time for free for editing whatever I wrote. It's just the
Yeah, you
special
can,
features are under that paid version.
yeah, yes, the paid version has like better features. It has the image generation. It has smarter GPT. I don't know if the free version has search at this point. I'd have to do some research, but um, I would recommend getting the paid version if you want the best experience. But if you want to try it out for free, I think there is a free version too.
Good. Do we
Yeah.
have any
Oh,
more questions?
What
it's a new
software
world.
do you use for writing music?
What's that?
What software do you use for writing music, for composing?
So currently I have Sibelius and I've used it for a long time, but I'm thinking about switching over to Dorico because it's very, very good. Um, I have used a little bit of MuseScore just for that one feature. Um, the thing where you can take pictures and it uploads it. Um, and I also use digital audio workspaces like Logic. So Logic and GarageBand are my go-tos for writing music that isn't like engraving, but more um, like an audio workspace. Yep.
Okay, so Aspen, thank you so much. It was a very fascinating presentation. We are actually living in times, I mentioned it before, where tech is changing by the minute, and we will soon have driverless taxis. They are actually working on taxis that can fly. It's in work in Dubai, right? Target is 2026, so it comes faster than we think. And knowledge is power. And if we don't take advantage of that power, even though we are getting older and it's middle generation, older generation, then the technology will take power over us. It's a little bit that my impression that I get. It's fascinating. It makes many things easier, but it's also a little bit scary. So I think as teachers, especially, it's our calling that we have to be informed. We don't have to use everything, but we have to know what is out there to be able to teach the next generation. And it's not only piano and the notes that we teach, they are all using all these softwares and all these apps. So Aspen, thank you so much for giving us a glimpse what is out there. It's a lot. We will look over. I took a lot of notes. I'm very excited because I feel like my son, who is now in high school, he uses music making software like Ableton, and he's talking all the time. Look, do you see the bass here? I put some reverb in it, and I'm sitting there and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Wow, this is amazing," but I have no clue. But now I can come back and tell him, "Hey, do you know about stem splitters and how you can make these videos and
Mm-hmm.
enhance them?" Um, it's wonderful. I think the key is we
And
have to learn.
yeah, and one thing I'd say too is the kids love this stuff. Like I've taught in classrooms, and one fun activity is to take a bunch of different suggestions for a song, and then we generate a song together from nothing in a few seconds, and it's a lot of fun. They give some ideas and instruments and emotions, and then bam, we have a song we can listen to. Or like the image generation, super fun, same thing. Um, so they're fun ways to engage students, and then um, I think like yeah, it can be a little scary, but also some of these new technologies, they're doing a better and better job of making it accessible for everyone, making it easy to use. They've actually gotten better at that.
Mm.
For example, ChatGPT just has that one bar where you just talk to it like a person, and it does what you want it to do. Um, so I would totally recommend looking into these sorts of things. Um, Probably my biggest recommendation is to look into ChatGPT, um, and it's kind of the gateway to starting to understand these sorts of technologies.
Is it sort of like Google expanded to a new dimension? Is that what you
Yeah, it's
think?
Yes, it's like that. Yep, it's like you're actually talking to Google.
Yeah, I know my daughter does that. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Aspen, thank you so much. He will be around. If you have any questions, you can ask him, but I will stop the recording. So it's the end of the year. We ended on a very high tech talk in our business meeting and also here in the presentation. To an even more new tech year next year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone, and we see each other again in January. Thank you, Aspen.